What is up, everyone? Getting ready for the live stream of tip off is just about to come up here in a few minutes between the Heat and the Bucks. Uh, Obviously, all the discussion is about last game. How can you not discuss what happened? And 83 points, second all time. I honestly was watching the game on the couch, dozed off for part of the first quarter, and woke up to seeing that Bam had 31 points at the end of the first, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's really on a heater." And then when he got to 43 at the half, that was the most unexpected. As many people, I thought that he would get a little bit of rest and that maybe he could push 460 or high 50s, but when that number kept rising, I think everyone was locked in, and I'm sure I was texting a bunch of my buddies. People were texting me. Uh, like nobody really expected this to happen. So, out of all people on the Heat in terms of scoring potential, you have Norman Powell, you have Tyler Hero, you have Wiggins, guys that can all probably score a little bit more than Bam on a nightly basis, and it happened to be the captain that just blew up. There's really nothing else to say about it. The fact that this guy had a historic night and literally gets to go down not just in Heat history but in NBA history is incredible. So that's definitely what a lot of people are talking about entering tonight's game. But I think people can't forget about the importance of where the Heat are at right now. They sit at number 6 in the East, just outside the play-in, something that they want to get out of after many seasons of just struggling to barely make the playoffs through the play-in. So tonight's game could be a trap game. I think Miami needs to be aware that even though they're clicking, they're on a 6-game win streak, and the Bucks aren't necessarily doing too good. You can't sleep on them as long as Giannis is on the other side of the court. That's going to be a problem. You want to make sure that you take care of him and don't allow him to beat you, and see if some of the other players take some tough shots and try and manage the game that way. Giannis is going to get his, but you want to definitely get the other players to force them into tough shots, force them into taking the reins, and not allow uh, Giannis to get a full head of steam. So with that said, coming into tonight's game, Miami is at 37-29. They're on a 6-game win streak, and they've won 8 of their last 10. So they're 8-2 in the last 10. And over that stretch, they're scoring 126 points. So that's incredible. I think they're at 120 for the entirety of the season right now. And they've been shooting almost 49% during that stretch. So really efficient scoring. Again, with people like Norman Powell sitting out, Heroes played in most of those games, but he didn't play last game and scored 150. This team clearly has shown that regardless of who is on the court, their offensive flow is very conducive to being able to get buckets and to push the pace. Uh, and something else that obviously was a problem last season that they've been able to fix is the rebounding. They're number 2 in the NBA, I think, right behind the Rockets in terms of rebounding. So that was a huge problem last year, and this year they've done a good job of not just individuals like Bam and Ware, but team rebounding. So they shored up the two things that were problems in the past few seasons, and we find ourselves with less than 20 games left in the season. So I think that it's safe to say that this wasn't like a fad. It's been something that they've been able to maintain throughout the course of the whole year. And so entering tonight, the Bucks on the other end, they're at 27-37. They're 11th in the East, so they're just outside the playoff and just outside the play-in. So they're like 3-7 in the last 10 games, and they're allowing 120 points per game in that stretch. So Miami is primed to do what they do best, and if all things go according to plan, this should be a double-digit victory for the Heat. But as we all know, you can't assume those things. That's just what you can assume based on paper, and whatever happens once tip off comes around, we'll see. And this is the third matchup between the Heat and the Bucks. So the Bucks actually won the last game, 128-117. You had Kevin Porter Jr. blowing up and scoring 32 points, and Norman Powell played that game. He dropped 26, but he won't be available this game. Neither will Wiggins. I do believe. I don't know if we got Hero back, but we do have Ware back. So should be an interesting matchup. Miami won't be full strength, but neither are the Bucks essentially. I think the guys that you got to watch out for outside of Giannis, just from a pure scoring potential, are Rollins. Rollins has been, when they picked him up, and he's kind of been balling for them. And then Cam Thomas, he kind of heated up when they first brought him on, but he hasn't been scoring much as of late. You don't want him to be a guy who catches fire because he is one of those guys that could be a spark plug for them. So I think Miami needs to be aware of those guys. Obviously, guys like AJ Green shooting from the perimeter, guys you got to worry about. But the main thing is do your best to stop Giannis and force other guys to, beat you. So it looks like we're about to get to tip off here. Get any of you guys who are in the comments, let me know where you're tuning in from. We had some people last time we tuned in was we had people from Arizona. We had people from obviously Miami, but love to know where you guys are tuning in from. Yeah, the Bucks definitely do have a ton of injuries, so it's a fair matchup in that sense. But it's safe to say Miami has a deeper bench. When we tip it off here, Miami gets the tip in their direction. So Davion's going to bring it down, and we'll see where we go. So starts off with Larson driving in and getting a goaltending. So, kind of applying pressure to Kuzma there, which is definitely someone you can exploit. And look at him playing defense full court. Like, it's great to see the young guys out there with Kasparis and Larson and Davion too, just kind of being menaces already during tip-off. So this is exactly the kind of thing you want to see. Almost forgot they have Miles Turner. Miles Turner is definitely a problem that you got to worry about from the perimeter and from rebounding and blocking. Bam already coming up. He starts off with his first bucket of the game on a nice little runner. So it looks like he's not going to come out rusty. Well, Miami up 4-zip here. We could also pull up let's see if this actually. All right. We'll have this up too, so you guys, whoever's tuning in and wants to see the live score, it's a little bit delayed sometimes, but it's pretty accurate. So right now you got Heat up 4-2, Giannis with the first bucket for the Bucks, and Larson and Bam the first two to score for Miami. Kaz with the 3, nails it. This kid's been super effective from behind the arc. He's, I believe, still number 1 amongst rookies in 3-point percentage, ahead of Nipple, who's arguably going to be the rookie of the year. So safe to say Miami is looking nice in terms of that pick so far. Still has a lot to grow. Pulls up for another 3, nails it. This kid is on a heater as well. He is not missing from beyond the arc. So he's 2 for 2 right now, 6 points already, and it's really nice. Giannis with that nasty move, man. That's tough. Ware's going to have his hands full guarding him as anyone, but this is good experience for him for sure. Larson gets stopped there, but kicks it out. Again, good ball movement. Bam for 3, misses it. First miss of the game for Bam. Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. definitely, you can't let him have a game like that again. 32 points is just not something you want to see. Yeah, look at this replay by Anya. Like that spin move, full head of steam spin move, and just dunks it like this. Is a beast. Oh, you got wear out there. Almost was able to get Miles Turner to touch grass there. Here comes Giannis again. Yeah, he drew a foul there. Being aggressive early on, as you would expect. Yeah. Another key thing here, I think, is the fact that the Bucks are offensively really in a struggle. Like just in the last 10 games, they're averaging 100 and under 105 per game, and they're giving up 120. So that's a difference of 15 points. That's really tough. So they're definitely in a tough spot right now, especially with the injuries they got. Um, and obviously, when you have Giannis out there, that's going to put up numbers like 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's great, but he also has so much of a burden on him that he's got like 3 turnovers per game during that stretch. So it's they're in a tough spot. They're in a tough spot. Yeah. Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. definitely is going to have to step up for them. So is Miles Turner. I don't really know what their bench lineup's going to look. I'm assuming Cam Thomas will get some time. But, yeah, those two guys are going to have to really step up if they want to have any chance at this game. Wow. Great kick out by Kaz there. He didn't finish it, but it's the right play. Giannis is lightning out of a bottle, man. Larson pulls up for 3, nails it. Great start by Larson and Kaz. I mean, it's 11 points from 2 guys you don't expect to be your leading scorers. Where with a nice drive there. It's nice to see. He rarely is able to kind of get to the rack like that, especially on someone like Giannis. You usually expect him to just pull up from 3 or get into the post. Kaz for 3, off, and it's Bucks ball. It looked like it was out on them, but let's see. I don't know if they're going to show that replay. What was that? Yo, Kyle Kuzma up and down. This guy, I mean, sadly, he's fallen off so bad. Just tough. That's tough to see, man. All right, so Larson, nice pump fake, drive, dish off to Bam. So Heat up 17-8 right now, looking real good, and I'm really happy with what I'm seeing from Yakachonis and Larson. They're, I mean, just making the right plays. Larson already has 3 assists, so kid is doing what needs to be done on the court, and he's just always in the right spots, honestly. So it looks like Miles Turner also isn't having that great of a season, right? He's like, 12.3 points a game, shooting 44%. Does that pick and pop, but and some shot blocking, but you need more from him. Like, that's not enough, honestly. And yeah. Now, what's up with Bobby Portis? Is he gonna play in this game. That's going to be something interesting. I don't know if he's hurt, but yeah, they're definitely grasping at straws at this point. You guys have any predictions for today's game? Anything that you're looking forward to? Yeah, Giannis is the only one who could score right now, and they need more from the rest of the team. Yeah, 100%. It's just the way that team's constructed is terrible. They offloaded Dame out of necessity, but that's 20 something million on the books for the next couple of years. That's dead cap space that they can't use to sign someone else. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to need to consider dealing Giannis in this offseason. I know they've gone back and forth, and that Miami's going to at least dabble in that. I don't think that it ends up working out for Miami. And honestly, at this stage, I really don't care too much other than that he continue to build the team through the draft and through other ways until, yes, Giannis is one of those few people that you might want to go after, but the Bucks are in such a tough spot that I don't know how you convince him to stay on that team with the cap situation and with the current roster construction. You really have to pull a miracle because there's nobody else that you can trade for draft capital or for like a serious star to join you without it being with strings attached or a terrible contract or an aging star. So yeah, the Bucks are definitely in a really tough spot, and the depth that they have is very shallow. A few more stats kind of coming into tonight's game. So the Heat, the last 10, they've been averaging about 49 rebounds and 9 steals, whereas the Bucks are averaging around 41 rebounds and 7 steals. So Miami clearly has the advantage on the boards there. If Miami can win the offensive glass and the turnover battle, as they've done recently, then it's going to be a real rough night for the Bucks. This is a game that Miami should handle, but they can't get too comfortable. And the other interesting part is kind of like zooming out and just seeing where Miami stands, over the course of the whole year. Well, there's Ware pulling up for 3 to push Miami up 20-8. But Miami's a top 5 scoring team and a top 5 rebounding team. Like, that's kind of crazy to say. That's something that preseason people couldn't have predicted. Davion driving. Finished it there. The pace is crazy, man. Yeah, Miami's pushing the pace. The Bucks don't really have an answer. Obviously, Giannis is going to do what he can individually, but he needs help, and I don't think it's on that roster. So you're going to need someone to get possessed on both ends of the court to really help him compete here. Cavs for 3. He misses that one. Question: do you think Miami's a deep playoff contender? Honestly, as a Heat fan, but as someone who's trying to be serious about where they can actually go. Oh, man, Larson almost got that dunk, that breakaway. I don't think Miami is a deep playoff contender. I think that they have enough to make the playoff outright, so 6th seed, 5th seed max. And then that means that they'll probably play someone like the Knicks or Cleveland. Now, I think those will be tough series, either one. And I do think if we play Cleveland, it won't be like it was last season. This is a very different team, and so is Cleveland. Miami is overperforming, whereas Cleveland is kind of underperforming. So I think it'll be closer than what people think. I just don't know if Miami has enough to win in a 7-game series against those two. Again, you never know who gets injured. You never know what's happening at that moment. So I think best case scenario for Miami is making it out of the first round. That would probably be um, the best case scenario for them. I don't think that they push anywhere near the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be a shock to me. Um, but again, stranger things have happened. Miami did go to the finals as an eighth seed, so we'll see. But my prediction is Miami makes the playoffs. They make a competitive first round and likely lose, but possibly make it to the second round, and then it'll probably be tough for them to make it past that. So we'll see. So Miami up 24-12. Lose the ball here, and you got Kevin Porter bringing it down. Miles Turner pulls up for three in transition. Way off. So Miami coming right back on the other end. Larson being really aggressive. He's attacking Kuzma, which is great. I like seeing that kind of attack. Yeah, he needs to get some space here for Hawkins to hand it off. Now Davion with 5. He's going to kick it out. Kalel got blocked there. Is Bam now untradeable? I think Bam has been untradeable for the Heat and this organization for a while, and I think after the last night's, well, not last night's, but the previous night's performance, it's going to be even harder to convince him that they need to trade him because they know his value on the defensive end, and they know that he can be a pretty solid offensive weapon, but I don't think you expected that. So, yeah, I think he's as close to untradeable as it gets. Like, even in all the rumors of trading for Giannis at the midway point, Bam was not part of that deal. He was untouchable with Giannis. So it's hard to say, like, who would that be for? Like, what other person would become available that you would trade Bam for? Because at the end of the day, I'm assuming that these guys that would be joining the Heat want to be competitive. And they probably feel like they'll be more competitive next to Bam than they will next to a scorer like Hero or Wiggins. So the identity of Miami always being defense first, I think Bam fits it, and he's continuing to prove that he is part of Heat culture and clearly now a franchise pillar. Bobby Portis misses that. Miami again with the rebound here. Drew drives it in, finishes. He makes some tough layups, man. For a guy who's not known for scoring, he's incredible at deflections and steals, but he actually is pretty damn good at finishing at the rim, like some tough shots, contested. Wow. Rollins driving it against where he had to. That was a high off the glass there. Oof. Where it got to the rack but couldn't finish it there. That should be offensive. Yep. Great positioning by Kaz there, drawing the charge on Kuzma. This kid is 19 years old, and he's making just heads-up plays, scoring efficiently. It's really nice to see. Yeah. Kuzma definitely also extended his elbow there, so even if I don't know if they're going to review it, but he definitely it seems like an offensive foul for sure. We want to look a little closer here to some of the stats. We got Larson leading the way with 7 points, true shooting percentage of 90%, and with a couple rebounds and 3 assists and 1 steal. So really nice across the board impact right now. He's the kind of guy that you don't really see incredible stat lines from, but he is capable of giving you in the teens and even a few 20-point games sprinkled into the season. So what a pickup for Miami in the second round, being able to have Ware and Larson in the same draft, and both of them you could see here. These are all the last 3 Miami draft picks are literally the top scorers right now. Again, the Bucks are a struggling team, but this is the NBA, and these are guys that are contributing on a team that values impact and values winning. even when they're not a contender. And so to see the young guns kind of performing well and them giving them the playing time and the respect to do so is awesome. That both things are working in tandem. Do you think that he'd have a better chance this offseason? Who do you think that he'd have a better Ja or Giannis? I still don't think that Ja is a fit in Miami. I might be wrong, and maybe the front office has a plan for someone like him, but I think that they'll definitely gun harder for Giannis. I don't know if Ja will become the backup plan or if he's part of the plan at all. Um, I do think in either case, someone like Tyler Hero would have to be included in that trade purely based on his offensive impact and what they can get in return, as well as for Giannis, it would be multiple draft picks, multiple young players. For Ja, I don't know what his market is right now. I don't know what the value is. It's would significantly be lower than Giannis. So the problem with Giannis is going to be there's going to be a ton of teams that are going to be in there trying to get in on the action, and I think that doesn't work in Miami's favor, especially the teams that have more draft capital. So yeah, the Bucks are probably going to opt for something that includes a lot of draft picks, but also I don't know if they are going to accept this, but they've been terrible at draft picks. So I don't know if it's better for them to get younger, more established players, which Miami currently has. Like instead of getting the draft pick, get a young player who's already proven he can do certain things and play certain roles. And yeah, so I think Miami has a better package if they go that route. But if they go purely on draft picks, it'll be tough for Miami to get Giannis. Travel. Look, yeah, Kachona is just playing really solid defense, forcing that travel by staying in front of his assignment there. And yeah, the turnover differential is pretty nice right now, 5-1. Bam getting aggressive, little fadeaway, he misses there. Yeah, so Bam, he is shooting 50% right now. Porter just pulls up for two. So it's a 10-point game right now. Miami's still in control. Definitely holding your opponent to 20 or less is awesome. Ooh. Fontecchio almost nailed that, man. All right, there's a mismatch a little bit. Portis versus Jaquez. Yeah, Portis definitely has to step up here if they want. Wow. Wide open shot for Kaz. Nails it. That's 3 threes. Kids cooking. Again, the rooks and the sophomores right now leading the way in scoring for Miami. All three of them have 2 rebounds apiece. So they're contributing on both sides. Fontecchio with nice little pass ahead by Drew to Fontecchio. The pace and the fast break points is definitely Miami's strong suit right here, and the Bucks aren't just getting they're not getting back. Green, this guy is lethal as a 3-point shooter. I think he probably gets dealt in a move that to bring in other talent for Giannis if Giannis decides to stay there, because that kid deserves to be on a contending team as a 3-point specialist. He is incredible. I think he's shooting like either at 40% or near 40% for the season. Wow. All right, so it looks like, are they in the bonus now? Or is it okay? So Bam to the line to take a couple free throw shots here. Ooh. I'm assuming that was it was off away from the ball, so I guess it was kind of like a tech. Miami keeps the ball here. All right, Miami's getting ready to inbound the ball here. They're clearly not going into Bam that much this game. They're kind of giving him a little bit of a rest after last game, and he started off hot, but he's cooled off, and he's only at 4 points so far. His true shooting percentage down to 36%, 37%. I don't know. Miami's going to get a shot off here, but they got 1.9 seconds left. Yeah. So, end of the first quarter, Miami up 31-21. A nice, comfortable 10-point lead. Unexpectedly, seeing, again, the young guns at the top in terms of offensive contribution. Bam definitely not as strong as last game, which is a little bit expected. But it's still good to see the team ball that's being played. Good distribution of points, good distribution of rebounds. So can't be mad. This is going to be a team effort for Miami to just make sure that they win a game they should handle. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. Interesting. You see, the only one with a block right now is Yakachonis, not Ware, not Bam. So his kid's just playing hard-nosed basketball. And if you guys have any predictions or anything you want to talk about on the stream, feel free to drop it in here. You think the 83-point game gives the Heat a spark to push into the playoffs? Yeah, they already had a spark even before the 83-point game because they were on I think a 5-game win streak, and then that pushed it to 6. Tonight, if they handle business, that gets it to 7, and then they head to Orlando, who they're pretty much right there next to, battling, neck and neck for the next playoff spot. So, yeah, I think that it gave them even more of a reason to believe in themselves, especially doing that without your top scorers on the floor. So there's no doubt that the Heat are in a position to make a strong playoff push. And I think that there's definitely a good case to be made for them to make the playoffs this year and not just to play in. We want to see the game. I would love to stream the game, but I definitely would get immediately shut down by YouTube. So this is the best I could do. I'm watching it here on the side, but the most I can do is have this dashboard up so you can see the box score and the different stats on both sides or specifically on the Heat. So yeah, right now this is where we're at. Heat with the 10-point lead, and if we look across the league right now. You got Detroit versus the Sixers, and they're up by 8. Phoenix up against Indianapolis, who this season the Pacers have been terrible. Did not expect them to fall off that hard after Halliburton went down, but it shows you every season is different. But all right, looks like we're back. Second quarter just kicked off, and Milwaukee gets a quick bucket to go within 8 points, so they're at 23-31 right now. Should update on the dashboard in a second. Miami answers back, though. You got Fontecchio nailing a 3 to push it back up to 11. So Miami is like any breathing room that they give to the Bucks, they immediately answer back. It's nice to see. And they're pushing the pace here again. Fontecchio pulls up for a transition 3. Misses it, and the Bucks going the other direction. Ball's back down to Portis in the post. Taurean Prince for 3. He nails that. Looks like we got a Bucks fan in the building. I'm a Heat fan here, but respect all teams. Good luck to you and that team. I know that it's tough with the roster where it's at right now and the injuries you have. But Miami up right now by what? Let's see. I think they're up by 8, 34-26. All right, they got it down to Bam and they fouled him. So Bam, I don't think he's going to get free throws, but Miami gets side out of bounds 14 seconds here. And Taurean Prince getting 3 fouls quickly. So he's got to go. That's not great for them. Cam Thomas into the game and see if this dude does anything for them on offense. Bam short again. Fontecchio for 3, though. Nails it. Let's go. At the second 3 of the night. So Miami keeping that double-digit lead right now. Man, Rollins, that kid came out of nowhere. He just did a nice little step back 3 there. It's back and forth right now. Smith drives, immediately scores. There was like barely any time off the clock. Oof. Yeah, that was a huge mismatch down there. Jericho Sims on Drew Smith. That was an easy drop into the paint for him to score real quick. I'd like to see Hawkins get aggressive this game too and, do what he does best. Oof. That was tough. Fontecchio gives it away there. And Portis goes the other way. Yeah, and to take foul, so they're going to get free throws and the ball back. Yeah, it was a rough one there. Portis definitely doing a little bit more than you'd expect here. Yeah, no, this is my background is virtual right now, but it's just the logo of the channel. Soon we'll set up at the studio. We'll have a nice little backdrop with the jerseys like we've done in the past and everything. But right now, this is what we're going with so that we can focus on the game. Miami playing good defense on Cam Thomas, not making it easy for him. Good defense on Giannis by Bam. Doing what he does best. Nice. Hawkins drove it in there and drew the blocking foul, so he's going to get to the line for a couple free throws. Something that he's done a lot better this year is getting to the line more, making some easy buckets and not just relying on having to. I thought he was going to be focusing on his 3-point shot, but he's been able to really just double down on his driving and scoring with a full head of steam. So he's definitely been efficient there. So, it's really awesome to see him kind of just focus on his strengths and not rely on this 3-point shot. But he's, as of recently, trying to get better at shooting some more threes occasionally. So I think over time in his career, he's going to have to. Like, it's just the nature of the game today. But it's good to have like that change of pace option where you can have someone that's going to put their head down and drive it to the hoop. So Hawkins makes the first free throw here to get the score up to 40. What sites do you use to watch the games? I'm watching it directly on FanDuel right now. I know there's some other sites that you can tune into. that you can watch it online. But maybe you could DM me on the side. I'll tell you, but I don't want to break some rules here. Portis again with the little fadeaway shot, but misses. Got a couple Bucks fans in here. Welcome. He get the rebound here. Larson getting aggressive and drawing a foul here as well. Yeah, it depends where you're watching from. So if you're in Miami, it's really the only, in South Florida, it's the only option. It's FanDuel Sports Network. They purchased the rights from Fox Sports to stream the Miami Heat, the Miami Marlins, Orlando Magic, and the Tampa Bay Rays. So it's a subscription that you use. But if you're outside of Miami and you want to, like, honestly, you're better off just getting NBA League Pass, because then you can watch all the teams except for whichever your local team is. Hopefully they, that changes and it's just all teams. I hope the Heat join, what's it called, the League Pass, just because then you can just watch all of them. Right now it's blacked out, so I can watch all the other teams except Miami, so I have to tune into FanDuel Sports Network. Bam go for 16. Yeah, right now Bam's only at 4, and he lost the ball there. It's definitely a rough start for him. I think he's gonna have to get in a groove sometime now, before the end of the quarter. He's the kind of guy that needs to have some sort of rhythm to get going. If not, that's gonna be tough for him to catch up in the second half. He's done it on occasion, but he's usually the kind of guy that he needs to get the ball and be in a rhythm to get going, as you saw with the 83-point game. That's like an exaggeration of the point I'm trying to prove. Thoughts on 119.5 over first half? So that's like total between both teams. Let's see. So right now we're at what, 75? Yeah, that's gonna be, I don't know. That might be tough. Got 7 minutes to kind of get those extra. I don't know. I would probably go under, honestly. Miami would have to just heat up right now and go on like a 12-0 run, possible, but looking like it's a little bit of a slower game. Drew Smith gets a travel here, so turns the ball over. Got some Heat fans in the house. Shout out. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. If it's from Miami, another city, another part of the world. Always love to know where people are tuning in from. Yeah, so right now we got Larson and Yakachonis leading the way. And just love both of these players, honestly. I love Larson the most just because he's such a well-rounded player, smart player. He does whatever it takes and doesn't need the ball to be impactful. But when he does get the ball, it seems like he does make smart plays. Nice. Shout out to Toronto, the other side of the border. Welcome. Shout out to the Raptors, too. They're playing incredibly well. I did not expect them to be in the top 5 this season. So that's definitely been a shock to me and many others. I don't know if they can sustain that now in this final stretch, but man, that's kudos to them. They're definitely at least making the play-in if they slide, but they're looking like a playoff team. Long Island in the house, nice. Must be tough being around so many like Knicks and Nets fans, mostly Knicks fans, I'm assuming. But yeah, shout out to you for being a Heat fan out there in the middle of so many New York fans. Middle Florida. Shout out, yeah. So I'm assuming you're more of a Heat fan than a Magic fan. But yeah, I mean, the Magic, I thought this season they were going to take a leap. I honestly had them in as a top 3 team in the East, and they just offensively, they don't know what to do with the talent they have on that roster. Like, they clearly have enough for defense, but I don't know. I think that especially if they get bounced in the first round, like, their coach is gone. The Magic, just especially after all they traded for Bane, like, you gotta win or contend with the roster you have. You don't have too many other moves unless you're willing to trade Paolo or Wagner, and that's would be kind of like a mini reset there. So I don't know. Magic are they're doing better now. They're in a 5-game win streak, and we'll see them next game. They've had our number this season, but I expected a lot more from them. Scoreboard's too small. Let's see. You want me to? I could zoom in a little bit. Zoom in here. Let me know if that's better. Shout out from the Philippines. Wow. It's amazing. You a Spo fan? I mean, we love Spo out here. Dude's incredible. Already a legend. Yeah. I don't know if Miami breaks that 120 mark. Not Miami, though. Both teams combined. Like, it looks like a lower scoring game so far. Maybe in the second half they pick it up, but it's looking like a slog right now. It's even though Miami gets out on the break, they just haven't been able to finish, and it's kind of been a slower scoring game than you'd expect, even though the pace seems to be fast and in favor of Miami. Right now, this game is going in favor of the Bucks. They want to keep it close. They want to have a chance towards the end, whereas Miami wants to try and blow the doors open and get this as high as possible. Heat gang here. Shout out. I think mostly Heat fans, rightfully so. But we welcome all fans, Bucks fans. We know what you're going through for sure. Yeah, like Miami missed another shot there. Going the other way for the Bucks. Kuzma pulls up for 3, misses. All right, out of bounds to Miami. They get the ball back here. So I took Bam for assists, and now you want to be unproductive. Yeah, I wouldn't have put any bets on Bam this game just because you don't know what it's like to come back after that kind of performance. I think the expectations are too high, so I would not bet at all or bet the unders just because you can kind of expect there to be a little bit of, more than a little bit of a drop off. Davion for 3 here, nails it. Another really effective guy on this roster, knows his role, takes care of the ball, and when he does take the few shots he he tends to nail them. So great addition for Miami, and he's continued to do so. I think he has the highest assist to turnover ratio at like 4.5 in the league. So Giannis with what a move, just freaking jams it over after a quick move on Ware there. Hawk is trying to make a move down here. Let's see, a little fadeaway, misses it. Bucks are definitely holding their own here. It's only a 6-7 point game right now, and yeah, Miami's just not making the buckets they need to make. It's good distribution again for Miami, but you are going to need Bam to start stepping up at this point because you're not getting Ware, Powell, or Hero coming off that bench to supply you with that instant offense. So, I think that the rest of the supporting cast is doing their job. Maybe you want to see a little bit more out of Ware, but Bam is definitely going to need to step it up here towards the end of the second quarter and definitely in the second half. So needs to drink some of that. That's whatever he drank last game. He needs to fuel up on that and during halftime and see if he could make a push to get this game in a better spot. Because Giannis right now, he's gonna nail the second one and make it a 5-point game. As expected, Giannis was 16. He's leading the way. Miami just needs to make more buckets. Davion misses the little floater in the lane. Giannis immediately driving. Misses it. Good enough defense there. Tough pass there. Lob for Giannis. I think Miami's calling a timeout here, so it's a 3-point game. And Miami needs to regroup here. Giannis already with 18. Seven of 12 from the field, shooting around 61%. It's true shooting percentage, but it's kind of wild that he's still a negative 10 despite that. See what else we got going on in the league too. It looks like Philly's keeping it close with Detroit. Philly's also been a surprising team. It's been exciting to watch Maxey and Edgecombe be that duo in the backcourt for them. I mean, Embiid's still there, but he's constantly hurt. Same thing with Paul George. I don't know what's up with him. I think we're tuning in here, like Paul George not playing. It's crazy, man. What's going on here? No Maxey? Yeah, this is an anomaly of a team right now. I don't even know how they're being competitive. Anyway. Phoenix, slight lead over Indianapolis right now. It's a 4-point game. Orlando up by 10 against Washington. I mean, Alex Sarr has been playing. Oh, they got Trae Young back in the game. Interesting. Like the channel. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. And respect to you being a Bucks fan. I know that it's not easy right now. Giannis, I know you guys are going to do whatever you can to try and keep him, but they're going to make a tough decision this offseason to see what they can do to either build around them or get as much value for him. At least he brought a title there, which was something that, not many people expected. And he clearly still wants to be there partially. I know that he's kind of flip-flopped on that. And Miami will be one of those teams in the mix, but so will so many others. Yeah. Yeah, but you know that the Bucks are going to get a lot in return for him. It's going to be multiple picks. It's going to be multiple teams involved, players. Like Giannis is a top 5 player in the league, so he's going to get a lot of value in return if he does leave. So let's see how it pans out. Dude is like a wrecking ball. Every time he goes on, there's not really anyone that could stop him at his size and his agility. Honestly, for that size, where drives gets fouled here. Let's see if they're going to review it or they're going to give him the free throws. Looks like they're going to give him the free throws here. Oh, wow. Damn. Miles Turner actually blocked that. I would review it if I were the Bucks, but they're letting him take the free throws there. Unless there was other contact that we didn't see. But the ball didn't lie there with the first free throw being missed. Oh, yeah. He was so skinny when he first came into the league. It's crazy how much muscle he packed on. It's a little bit like his version of Dwight Howard, man. Like just his shoulders got massive and he became like this dominant force. Yeah, you guys have definitely gotten a lot of years out of a special player, a future Hall of Famer. Larson drives here, gets a foul. Again, the Heat's trying to be aggressive here, but it's a 1-point game now, and this definitely is going in favor of the Bucks. They're on a 14-4 run, and I think that Miami needs to find their groove again. And I don't know if they're going to start feeding Bam a little bit more, or what's going to be the move here. But we're going to need to see some more Bam action, probably in the second half. I think that he's still on the bench right now. But they brought him in. Hawkins is out. So yeah, this last three plus minute stretch, I expect him to get a lot more touches and a few more shot attempts up. So yeah, this should be a little bit more Bam action coming in to this last 3.5 minute mark. Larson got up to 11 points now, playing really efficient, really well. Giannis probing Ware, trying to drive it on him. What a shot by Turner, man. Wow. Caught it rough and was able to kind of jack up with, I don't know, was it a 2 or 3? Crazy. Davion drive, kicks it out to Bam. Ooh. Bam shakes him off, drops him, and is able to hit the mid-range there. Nice. It's good. It's a competitive game here. Giannis driving again. Wow, he missed that. That was an easy layup, but Yakachonis for 3. Off. Drew Smith with the putback, but it goes off. Miami keeps the ball here. Okay. Yeah. I say he's at least a top 5. I know some people say he's a top 3, top 2 guy. He's definitely in that conversation. He's an MVP conversation, so there's no doubt about it. It's like him, Jokic, Luka right now. I guess Cade could be in the mix. But those are the top 4 right now in terms of this season. But for a while now, obviously, Giannis has been top 3, top 5 guy in the league. Woof. Turner for 3 again. Again, that guy's a threat from behind the arc, and he knows how to block shots too. So tie game right now, 51-51. Yakachonis drives and 1. What a finish by the rookie. Larson and Yakachonis continuing to lead. They've been like the first half engine right now for Miami. Incredible to see that. Got the Lithuanian and Swedish connection going on. Miami definitely going more Euro. You have Fontecchio there with the Italian. You got these dudes out here from all over Europe contributing for Miami. Looks like someone wants Giannis to go to Chicago. I don't know if Chicago just has to give up a bunch of draft picks, huh? And get other teams involved for that to happen. I don't know if that's going to be a possibility. It seemed like he He mentioned New York. He mentioned Miami. He mentioned a few others. I don't know where he ends up, but we'll see what the offers are come this offseason. You're going to see some pretty crazy bids for him. Bam again, trying to get in the lane here. Gets a little bit of space, but tough shot. Where he tries to save, but he steps out. So Miami holding on to a 3-point lead right now with 1:31 left. Again, it looks like Giannis is just leading the way. Rollins are next up, followed by Portis and Turner. Yeah, Giannis needs more help. Like, they were able to fight back into this, but wow. Transition 3 by Davion to extend the lead a little bit, get a little bit more cushion. Miami probably best fit though. Yeah, as I said, I think Miami would give up a lot. It would include Hero, Wiggins, probably a bunch of the young guys, some draft picks. Other teams will get involved. So Miami would give up like four plus players plus picks plus other assets to get included in that. But you would keep Bam, you would keep Giannis. Ware would definitely be included in that trade to the Bucks. They need something in return. So, but Miami will still have some depth. Larson will probably stick around. Jovic or Hawkins sticks around. So, Miami's good at filling in the back end of the roster. It's always been trying to find those stars that come every decade or so, probably. So I agree. I mean, I'm biased, but I agree that Miami would be a good fit. I think also a team like the Spurs, if they really wanted to, but I think that they're better off building through youth, but they have the assets to do so. And that would be super scary to see Giannis and Wemby on the same team. That would be crazy. Miami doesn't get the shot off before halftime, but they do have a lead 59-51. And it's halftime here, guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about is open floor. Again, to recap, Miami obviously coming off that historic night. They're looking for 7 games straight tonight, whereas the Bucks are reeling. I think they've lost 4 or 5 straight. They're 11th seed right now in the East. They're trying to fight their way into the play-in. But as we can see, it's really a bunch of Giannis and not much help. Miami isn't getting much from Adebayo so far, but they're getting a lot of contribution from role players to keep them afloat. And even then, 59 at the half, that's on pace to be just under 120. I do expect them to probably be a little bit more efficient in the second half. Probably get to that 120 mark, 118, 120 mark. But yeah, it's in Miami's best interest if they can keep building and padding that lead, because you don't want to be in a close game with the Bucks. They have enough to outgame you if the ball goes in their way. They win those 50-50 balls. You get Turner hitting a couple shots, Portis hitting a couple shots, and obviously Giannis doing what he does best. So we'll see. It's a close game, but Miami right now with a little bit of a lead in 59-51. Again, for you guys tuning in for the first time, appreciate you all. You can follow this channel at 786 Sports, but we're really more active on Instagram and on X. You can find us Courtside Cre8ives. I can drop it here in the chat. So probably see people tuning in from all over. We have people all the way from Toronto, the Philippines, like pretty insane to have you guys tuning in. But again, this is where you can follow us on Instagram. Just put it in the chat, and then I'll put the X account. yeah, for those of you tuning in for the first time, I mean, our main goal is really talking about hoops, but also the art of basketball and how it impacts culture. Things that happen off the court, anything from fashion to creative. We love highlighting teams that their production team, their designers, their animators do incredible work. There's a ton of people in the sports media landscape right now that uh, are really on the forefront of creative work and make the game more enjoyable, whether it's a highlight or just a dope graphic, a dope edit. There's so many incredible artists and designers and creatives out there that we love giving them their flowers. So, again, we put in here on the chat where to follow us on Instagram. You can tap those links. These are the links on X and uh, on Instagram. So we also have a TikTok account. We're not as active, but we're going to try and be a little bit more active. Um, but yeah, how about we haven't talked about it too much, but the obvious elephant in the room is that last game. What are your thoughts on Bam's 83? There's a lot of support, but some hate out there. It kind of bothers me a little bit to see people hating on Bam. He's really a deserving dude, not who you would expect to get to that mark, but he's such a well respected guy across the league. You even have Kevin Durant. You have other incredible players that have come out and really given him his flowers. Um, Obviously, Asia Wilson being there, and she's obviously an incredible player in the WNBA. But like, just he's a guy that doesn't deserve the hate that he's getting by a few people, or at least like brushing him off. Uh, it's 83 points is 83 points. Whether you get a good chunk of them on the line, you still have to like. He had an incredible first half, really efficient half where he scored 43 points, and he still made 7 3-pointers. Man, like he's obviously his 3-point game is developed, and people have been noticing that. But to make 7 threes is still a lot. He took a lot, but he made a lot. Um, you obviously have to have volume to get to that point, but you know it's a historic night. The fact that he gets to put his name up there with Wilt and Kobe is incredible, and I think that um, he's earned his jersey being retired in Miami already. So it's incredible to see that happen. So right now at the half, Miami's shooting only 44%, whereas the Bucks are shooting 49%. Um, Miami has more threes, and that's what's helped them kind of keep the lead. And they do have a 6 rebound advantage, but the Bucks have a little bit more points in the paint. We got some more points off turnovers. Okay, it's a close game. Miami has a slight edge, but you don't want to keep this game close. You want there to be a little bit of more cushion. You don't want this to be a battle going down to the wire. Yeah, Bam and Ware gotta step it up a little bit on the efficiency standpoint. They're missing too many shots. They're still plus 11 each, and obviously Ware doing at least a decent job on the boards. Um, but you want a little bit more out of him. You know, we zoom out here. Let's see. Yeah, Yakachon is the only one with a block, and Pell Larson's the only one with a steal. So you expect probably Drew Smith to get a steal in there, Davion to possibly get a steal. Bam gonna get 16 points. Did you bet the under or the over on that? Right now he's at 6. He could easily get 10 points pretty quick. So I don't know, what your stake is in there, but I expect Bam to. He might not even get 20 points tonight, but he could get 16 or 18 points. He could get hot real quick. Again, for those of you that haven't seen this, this tool is Data Baller. I've been following them for a bit. They do such a great job of kind of showcasing uh, stats at the individual level, at the team level. I love seeing things like this where you can hone in on the impact of individual players. Like Bam is a plus 10 net rating when he's on versus off the court. So when he's on the court, the Heat basically have a 10-point swing going in their favor. Offensively, they're probably the best when he's on the court. Yeah, 118. Myron Gardner, surprisingly, too, but he also has like lower minutes. Um, yeah, and defensively here. So basically, they're saying Bam defensively, they allow 110 when he's on the court, and they score 118 when he's on, offensively here. So it's a good differential. Hero, obviously, defensively, there's a little bit of a drop off, but he's also missed a lot of time. He's only had, 562 minutes played. All right, you bet the over, so I think you'll be fine. Davion too is just net. Like if you're looking at net rating, you got Bam. We could ignore if we were to put a minimum of 500. We could show that for whoever's played at least 500 minutes. Look at that, Fontecchio even is up there. And let's say you put 1,000, right? Whoever's played 1,000 minutes or more. These are the 4 guys that have a positive net rating. 5 guys if you had Norman Powell, actually. These are the guys right here. I mean, Ware's it's a -1. It's close, and so is Wiggins. But, Larson, that's probably a shocker for a lot of people to see. He's a guy who the stat lines don't show anything, but here, at least in the advanced stats, you really start to see it. When it comes to offense, you obviously get Norman Powell up there. Hero hasn't played enough minutes to include him in this specific breakdown, but yeah, this tool definitely has so many advanced stats. I don't want to bore you too much with this stuff, but it's always nice to see like what lineups, right, like work best for Miami. You got up here, I guess if we're going to focus on overview, the lineup with the best net rating, the 3-man lineup. Like you can also look at the full one, but the best 5-man lineup for Miami, that's a shocker. I guess you got to also put minutes in there because you don't want to include this one with such small minutes. But let's say you include this one, like Mitchell, Wiggins, Larson, Powell, and Bam, plus 25. Like it's incredible. Jovic has had a really disappointing season, and he's been hurt too. And it's just like not what you wanted after him giving him a contract. Obviously, he's still very young, so there's time for him to develop. But you wanted to see more of a leap from him, more of an impact, and he is a wild card for Miami because with his skill set, he really could change up the game, especially with his height. You just want to see more out of him. So I don't know. It's tough to see him struggle and have a slump this year. Hopefully, he kind of has like a Hawkes bounce back next season, unless Miami plans to deal him. But yeah, that's one of the few people that wanted to see more out of, and it hasn't worked out in his favor. But these other lineups, like look, you got Mitchell in all these, you got Wiggins in all these, and then it's a mix of Powell and Larson mixed in, yeah, pretty much, and obviously Bam, like Ware's in this one. But yeah, I think when you're looking at the closing, they'll probably swap out Larson for Hero, but like if you need more defense, like Larson gets slotted in here, but Hero, like I think it's one of these lineups. You're probably looking at a close out a game for Miami, one of these 3. So, okay, definitely Wiggins has been surprisingly effective and efficient for Miami. He's been hurt a little bit recently, but he's giving you 18, 19 points a game. His offensive rebounding and his putbacks, incredible. Like that's something that many people don't appreciate, but he's done a really good job of this season. And then again, you could also go down. So like, we're just going to hone in on Wiggins. Like, his finishing has been incredible. Shot creation, not so great. Transition, really good. Spacing, or whatever. But when you're looking at across the board, his scoring, his true shot attempts per 100, I mean, he's averaging, I believe, 18, 19 points a game. So that's solid for Miami. You don't need him to be a primary scorer. You want him to be a secondary scorer and someone that can kind of be the release valve for guys like Bam and Hero when they're not on their game or when they're on the bench. And obviously Powell. Like those three guys are the ones you kind of like run your offense through. Powell, Bam, and Hero. And then Wiggins is kind of like that third, fourth scorer along with Jaime. And everyone else kind of just pitches in when they can. You get a little bit of Fontecchio. You get a little bit of, Yakachonis now, where you got guys that contribute in different ways. I feel like Giannis is going to drop 83 points now. Yeah, hopefully not. Giannis, if we go back to the live look, let's see. He's at 18. I don't know. I think that's on pace to get 36 right now. Looks like he's on pace to at least break the 30 mark. If he really balls out, he gets into the 40 range. You don't want to see him get anywhere near that if you're a Miami fan. But look at this. He's at 10 points above the next scorer, and it's just all him. He's taken 13 shots. The next nearest guy is taking 6 shots. Everyone else is taking 2-3 shots or less. Like, it's rough. The guy has no help right now. So I guess Miami, do what you can to stay in front of him and to contain him. He's going to get his probably 30 points, 30-plus points. You don't want any of these guys to get too hot. You want to keep them contained and not let them blow up. Here's a question for you guys. I know the second half is starting now, but who do you think is the next player to get in that 70 to 80 point mark in a game? We've obviously seen it. Davion coming off the gates with a 3, but we got so many talented scorers and obviously a more lax defense. Who would you guess is the next player to drop 70 plus? Because 70 is crazy. 60 is a lot. 60s, like, I think we're kind of brushing over the fact that 40 points is incredible. Anything above that is insane. So I think anyone that can score in that 60-70 range is super talented. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Who do you think would be the next guy to get into that 70-point performance? Because we've seen Luka and Embiid do it. I don't know if there's anyone else that you want to take a wild guess would be next. Bam drives and misses. He's definitely not starting off too great, but Miami's off on a 13-0 run. So they're up by 13 now. Mitchell already got 11. Like, these 3 guys, what a crazy – who would have guessed that these guys would be the ones at the top for Miami? Like, I would have not expected any of these. I would have said Bam, Ware, Hawkes. Like, that would probably be my bet in terms of contributing on the offensive end. Giannis on the line for more free throws. Nails the first one. Yeah, like Davion's on his typical ratio here, 4 assists to 0 turnovers. Larson on a similar path here. Kaz only, not great with the 2 turnovers, but he's contributed in other ways, so can't really blame him there. Giannis misses a second free throw, and where it comes down with the rebound, so Miami pushing it. Davion for another 3. It's off. They kick it back out to him. See what they do here. They're going to reset. Where with the rough pass, and it gets picked off by the Bucks. Miami takes it right back with a strip of their own. Bam, driving, picks up the foul there. So I don't know if they're gonna call a shooting foul, but yeah, it's gonna be side out. Yeah, they're definitely not letting Bam get in any kind of rhythm here. So I totally respect that. You don't want that dude to catch fire again. Davion with the little floater, nails it. So the Bucks are gonna call timeout because Miami took a 14-point lead. I think it is here. Yeah, it's gonna update now. Yeah, he have 66. So nice way to come out the gates, and it was a tie game, and they're able to. Well, it wasn't tied. It was 51-59. But again, finding a way to get that cushion that you want. Bam for more than 6 rebounds. So Bam right now you have him at 3 rebounds. Yeah, I mean Bam is gonna resort to what he knows best, which is defense. I think he does get 6 to 8 rebounds. So, if I'm a betting man, I would probably put him there. Obviously, offense is not going in his favor right now, but he's gonna revert to what he knows best, which is playing defense, getting rebounds, and leading on that side of the court. We're right now with 7. He's probably going to get double digits here. Hopefully, he can also pick this up and get a double-double. Haven't seen any blocks from him, but you want where to also get a block or 2. Wow, Dallas destroying the Grizzlies right now. Two rough teams right now, but man, 20-point lead before half is, scoring 37 and it's almost halftime. That's brutal. Anyways, what other headlines here? Phoenix still, it can't break away from the Pacers, man. It's still close here. But Detroit definitely broke away from the Sixers. I don't know if they'll be able to catch up. Brooklyn keeping it close with Atlanta. Atlanta's been on a hot streak. So they're on the heels of Miami as well. They're in that mix. Yeah, Miami trying to take care of business here. And we were to let's pull up the standings here so we could get a good look at where things stand in the entire NBA. Standings. So we're looking at the standings right now. You got the Pistons still at number 1, the Celtics at number 2. They're pretty much a lock for those positions. Maybe the Knicks sneak in here and take the second spot if the Celtics go on a slump, but I think these 3 are kind of locked in. The Cavs following here at number 4, and then you got the Magic and the Heat almost at a virtual tie for 5 and 6, with the Raptors here at number 7, just right behind them, a half game. So these 3 are kind of fighting for this 5 to 7 slots. But yeah, and then you got the Hawks here kind of just outside. They're on a 7-game win streak though, so they're 8-2 in the last 10. So is Miami. They're probably them and the Hornets too. They're the 3 hottest teams in the East right now. And then at the bottom you got OKC 9-1, Spurs 9-1. They're like pretty much locked. They're locked for the top 2. But let's go back here to this game. So Miami up 66-52. 15-1 run recently. They fouled Turner. He almost got the 3-point play, but luckily he missed it. So he's going to the line for a couple free throws. Again, when I was mentioning that the Heat are second in the league in rebounding, like look who's up here. Look at the distribution. 3 for Larson, a forward/guard. 4 for a guard. 4 for a guard. 2 for a forward. Then you got 10 from your front court. And then you got another 2 from Drew Smith. Like it's team rebounding. It's not just like one dude raking in a ton of rebounds. Obviously, Ware and Bam are the ones that get the brunt of it, but you don't get to being second in the league in rebounding by just having like your 2 front court guys solely like getting 15 rebounds each. Bam for 3. He's off. He's short on all of them. Honestly, they're hitting the rim. Yeah, he's off today. Definitely. What are they gonna call here? Blocking foul. Oof, that was gonna be a charge. Who do you have? Bam or Ware for 10 plus rebounds? I think you have a better shot with Ware, but Bam could turn it up too. Yeah, Mitchell has to come out of the game now. He has 4 personal fouls. That's not great, but luckily you get Drew Smith and Kaz. They're still there. Okay, so Bam. Yeah, that's a long shot right now, but hopefully he can grab 3 to 4 in this quarter and then can make up the rest in the last quarter. But he only has 3 right now, so it's kind of a tough feat for him to get to 10. So Giannis reaches 20 now. Miami up by 11 still. Bam gets a little bucket, pushes it up to 13. So he's at 8 points now. He's only 4 of 13 from the field. So yeah, clearly a rougher shooting night. Giannis on the other end gets an offensive foul, kind of hooks Yakachonis. Oh no, Pal Larson. Yeah, Antetokounmpo with the elbow. I mean, what a mismatch, and for Larson to be able to kind of draw that foul on Giannis was like an immovable object. It's crazy. Bam gets it at the top of the key, drives it in, blocked by Giannis, but the Heat keep it here. And Larson drives it in and is able to finish at the rim. A nice little spin move. This kid is having a game. He's at 17 points, playing incredible ball, stepping up with, next man up mentality. He knows that Hero, Powell, and Wiggins aren't there. Giannis gets a rack again. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know how you're going to get that 16, man. You're going to need Bam to go off, like get 10 straight points soon. Good defense here by the Heat. And Giannis, holy crap. Giannis with, that puts him at 24 now? He just has no help here, man. Yeah. Giannis with 24 on 9 of 16 shooting. He goes to the bench. This is Miami's chance to really push the pace and take a bigger lead because he's the guy who's stopping you and keeping it relatively close. So let's see what Miami does here to take advantage of the fact that Giannis is on the bench. Bam pulls up for three. Misses it. He's completely cold from beyond the arc tonight. Yeah. Bam is 0 for 4 from 3, I believe. Larson draws a foul here. Being aggressive, man. It's nice to see him. Nice. I appreciate you. Yeah, if you don't follow us, appreciate you following 786 Sports on YouTube. This is where we stream these live streams for like game coverage. We've also done this for the NBA draft and other key events surrounding the NBA. I think we'll do some for the playoffs. Shout out to Adrian Lorenzo here, most aesthetically pleasing live stream in the league. We're trying to keep it clean right now. Just keep it simple. Have the dashboard up, watching the game here on the side, and trying to comment on things that matter in the game. It's a 9-point game right now. It has an update on the dashboard, but the Bucks just got a lob to Jericho Sims, but you got Ware driving with a little hook shot. He misses it, and the Bucks come down with it. You want the Heat to try and push the pace here, but it's not working in their favor right now. Oh, good block by Ware. Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. Trying to do a little fadeaway there, but Ware comes from behind and was able to swat it. So finally gets his first block of the game. That's what he's in there for. Go Heat. Yeah, we're trying to get that 7th straight win right now. Trying to make sure we stay in that 6th seed, 5th seed. Hopefully that would be pretty awesome. Miami coming down the other end, kicking it around. Cachonis with the ball in his hands. Drives it in, kicks it out to Jaquez, who shoots it. Misses the 3, so the Bucks come down with it. Miami still has a 9-point lead here. Again, just check out the efficiency from Larson, from Mitchell, from Cachonis. Like true shooting percentage in the 80 percentile. Like that's impressive. And, doing their share of rebounding and assists. Also, shout out to Davion and Cachonis. Each of them have 3 threes right now, which is helping Miami keep that cushion. Nobody else has anywhere near. Like Fontecchio has 2. They're the only ones with 3. Good rebound by Ware. I think that's his 8th board. No, he has 9 boards right now. Drew Smith with another tough finish, man, and he gets the and 1. Jaquez with the lead pass, and Drew Smith just finding a way to slither into the lane and draw the contact and finish it. He's been working on those finishes at the rim because it's really been a consistent thing at this point for him to be able to take it, get to the hoop, and finish. I don't think this is probably the best he's played in his career in terms of finishes and efficiency, honestly. Like, what you're going to get out of him on the defensive end. He tends to give you a steal or a deflection, sometimes blocks, but he has active hands, and what you're going to get on defense. But whatever you get from him on offense is always icing. Bobby Portis for 3, airballs it. Miami comes down the other way. Cachonis with the pass to Larson, drives it. Misses it, no call. And the Bucks are coming right back up. They stop Portis from jacking up the three there. Oof, this is a mismatch. Portis on Drew Smith. Yeah, too easy. So it's a 10-point game right now. Good ball movement by Miami. Giannis shoots it, nails it. That's his 4th three of the night. He's up to 15 points. So he moves into the second spot behind Larson. Again, the Euro connection in terms of scoring right now. The Swedish-Lithuanian offensive spurt for Miami. No way. Giannis with a contested shot. That would have been incredible. It was a tough shot to take, though. So Miami's 11 of 30 from three. They've taken 15 more threes than the Bucks. Bobby Porter's doing his job now. He's moved into the second, got into double digits and now has 13 points for the Bucks. It's not a lot of room. He's able to make that over Hawkins. Yeah, it hasn't updated now, but Milwaukee, it's 67-76. So Miami with a 9-point lead. Still decent, but you want to keep pushing that higher. You want to get in that 15 to 20 range if you can, because you know who's going to check back into the game and might not sit much at all for the fourth quarter in Giannis. So he's at 24 right now. Predicted he'll pass the 30 mark. He'll probably get into that 32, 34 mark by end of game. At least Miami's forced him into 3 turnovers. Hopefully they can get one or two more out of him to keep him honest and pressure him as much as possible. But yeah, very unexpected game. These are the 3 guys you're looking at for the Heat at your top. Like, I'm coming off an 83-point game, just has 8. It's, this is kind of like, I honestly expected a drop off. Maybe not this bad, but it's just like hard to match. There's not much you can do. You're not going to get anywhere near 83. I think he might be a little bit in his head, and he might be still having, some of that mental load from that, coming off the high of scoring that historic number. But I love seeing this. This is, if you're a Heat fan and you truly follow this team and you're seeing these names up on the board leading the way for you, you got to be proud of the development and the acquisitions, right? Like, these are second-round pick, a late first-round pick, a guy you traded for pennies and Davion, and they're your top 3 scorers. Not crazy, but contributing in many facets of the game. Question is Giannis, and Giannis is on the bench right now, but he probably will be checking in really soon, and you can expect him to continue to get a ton of shots up. Like, he's taken 16 shots this game. The next nearest one is 9 by Portis. So he's definitely the main engine for them, and you can expect this to easily go over 20, maybe go into that 24, 25 range by end of game. So it's besides the recent little spurt by Portis, like he was on an island. Nobody was getting him buckets. There's still so much to be left, desired by the rest of this team. You need these are the guys to step up if you're the Bucks. Larson, again, he gets up to 19 with that drive. Looks like he was going to lob it to Ware, but he decided last second to take a little bank shot. You think Bam is coming in? I think they might keep him out to the rest of the quarter and just save him for the fourth. They're going to need him, especially when Giannis. So I think they might be watching how Giannis when they check Giannis in and kind of match that. So that's my prediction. So he probably won't check in for the rest of this quarter unless Giannis does, and we'll see. Larson pulls up mid range, misses that. 9-point game. The Bucks driving it in. Rollins finishes at the rim, so 71-78. So it's a 7-point game now. This is all working in the favor of the Bucks, honestly. Like, you should be, and then Ware gives it away here with a bad pass. You should be taking advantage of the fact that the Bucks have Giannis on the bench, and instead of padding the lead, they're allowing them to get close. So this might be a nail biter. Taurean Prince for 3, making this a 4-point game, 74-78. As I mentioned, this has the markings of a potential trap game. I think Miami needs to do what they can to fight through this, because they're not getting the contribution out of Bam, and you're missing your 3 other top scorers. So I'm curious to see who steps up. Bobby Portis misses the baseline jumper. Miami gets a rebound, and they're pushing it the other way. Hawkins with a nice drive and finishes it in the lane, so he pushes back up to 80-74 here. So 6-point lead here. Miami switched to a zone here, so looks like they're trying to give them a different look and see if that forces them into some tougher shots. Wow. Rebound of Miami, kicks it out. Yakachonis for 3, nails it. The rookie with his 5th 3 of the night, 50%, 5 of 10. Yeah, they're resting Giannis. Wow, and then freaking Portis comes right back and hits a 3 of his own. Insane. Yeah, so we were talking about who's going to step up, and clearly it was Bobby Portis doing what he can. Yeah, Miami needs to watch out here, because you do not want this to get into that territory of being a 2-point, 4-point game. We got 13 seconds left in the quarter with who's going to go to the line. It looks like Pelle Larsson's going to step up here. He's got 19 points right now. Again, appreciate you all for tuning in. I know we got people from all over the world right now, and some of you are Heat fans, some of you are Bucks fans, some of you are just Hoops fans, and we accept all of you, because that's what we are here. Mainly Heat fans, but Hoop fans in general. We love the sport. And if you follow us on X or on Instagram, you can see that we love covering the game even beyond the court. There's so many dope creatives and designers and artists out there that kind of extend the culture beyond the hash marks here, and we love every aspect of it. So Miami is up 85-77 here with a few seconds left before halftime. The Bucks are going to get the last shot off here. Taurean Prince airballs it. So Miami holds on to an 8-point lead entering the fourth quarter. Giannis didn't play the tail end of that quarter, neither did Bam. So I'm assuming they're going to come in to the fourth quarter checked into the game and probably not check out. It's going to be a grind. And yeah, Giannis already has 24 points, so expect them to feed him, and Miami needs to do what they can. The good news is Bam doesn't have any personal fouls, so neither does Ware. So if you got to foul Giannis, you got two bigs that can do it without getting them in foul trouble. So that's really nice to see. Um, even, I mean, the only one that really has foul trouble is Mitchell, and Hawkins only has two. So I think Miami's in a good position. They can try and slow him down, and they have, if they have to, they can foul him. And yeah, that's where they're at right now. Let's see right now. And yeah, in 2 nights we play the Magic, so it's going to be Heat Magic. They're literally neck and neck, followed by the Hornets on the 17th, which that last game was a good matchup, and they've been pretty hot as well. So two really important games coming up, and then Miami goes on a stretch where they play three West Coast teams. LA comes into town on the 19th, and that's always going to be a tough matchup with Luka and maybe LeBron. I don't know who's going to play that game. Austin Reeves, followed by going to Houston to play the Rockets for a rematch. I don't know if Miami can beat the Rockets 2 times in a row. And then they play the Spurs on March 23rd. That's going to be a huge matchup. So those three they're not West Coast games. Like two of them are in Miami, but they're West Coast teams. And then you follow that up with two games in Cleveland on March 25th and March 27th. So Miami has a tough stretch coming up. It's going to be their true colors are going to come out, and we're going to see what this team is truly made of. They've been fortunate to play some lesser teams recently and take advantage of that. But yeah, I think it's the Heat's going to get turned up for them in the next handful of games, starting with the 14th against the Magic. I don't know if there's any matchups you guys are looking forward to, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Magic game. I'm looking forward to those three West Coast games for sure. Wemby didn't sound too pleased when Bam hit the 83 points, so I don't know if he's going to try and go off on us. Miami comes out, takes a three, but misses it. And it looks like they get tangled up in a jump ball here. It's going to be Portis and Gardner. I need Bam to get 20 points. Yeah, that's going to be a rough one, man. I mean, hopefully he does, man, but I don't know how he's going to get 12 points in this quarter. He's going to have to dig deep and try and reminisce of what happened a couple nights ago. Giannis taking the shot down there. Misses. Good. That was a tough shot. Wow. Davion just well, it wasn't Davion, sorry. This is Meyer Gardner. Hits a three in transition. So Miami's back up by 11. Kind of crazy that when Giannis is out there, look at this plus minus. When Giannis and Turner are out there, it's a negative 16. And look, freaking Portis comes back, hits another three. He's killing us right now, but we'll see. Smith with another tough finish at the rim, answering back. Miami by 6.5. Yeah, I think they could cover it if they keep playing this way. Fontecchio almost steals it. I think it's going to be Bucks ball here. I don't know how long that line's going to hold, but if Miami takes a 15-point lead here, like they score 5 points in a row, I think you could possibly nail that in. But if the Bucks score 4 straight here, I think it's probably going to be a close game to the wire. Yeah. Bucks get a bucket to draw within 8. Almost tied here at in terms of points in the paint. They got 36 points. Miami has 34. Gardner crashed the board there, tried to get a putback, but he drew a foul instead. Yeah, Bobby Portis really stepped up for them, man. 6 of 10 from the field. Well, from 2-point, and 2 of 3 from 3. Really, like 70% true shooting percentage. It's crazy. Rollins also being effective. Cam Thomas can get buckets. He clearly comes off the bench and immediately does that. Surprisingly, the Bucks bench has been more effective than Miami. Bam gets an easy bucket, finally gets into the double digits with 10 points. Whoever has him for 16 points, there's a little bit of hope now. He's only 5 of 15. Giannis misses Bam, forces a tough shot there. That's what you want to see. Drew Smith for 3, misses it. Bam with the rebound and the putback pushes him to 12, just 4 points away from that 16-point mark. Taurean Prince gets a little off the glass touch there. Appreciate it. Ooh, there was no foul in that. Gardner, it looked like he got pushed on the way up. Oof. Offensive foul, though. Giannis was about to Miami got lucky there with that that foul because Giannis there was no stopping him. Drew Smith definitely took the charge. Smart. Yeah, great way to slide in front of Rollins there. What do you think about D-Wade calling us out? He was a bit salty about Bam's comments. I mean, he's obviously the greatest Heat player of all time, so he has every right to criticize the Heat. But saying that there's no buzz in the city, I think it energized Bam. It energized some of the players on the team. So it kind of worked in both ways because Wade came out, I think, yesterday and was like, that got me pumped, and now there's buzz in the city, and he wishes he was in Miami. So, it kind of worked in both the favor of the Heat and in Wade's favor because he was calling him out to see if it would charge him up, and clearly Miami's on a run right now. And yeah, they're up by 8 right now. I think that they could maintain control of this game. Hopefully Bam continues this little spurt he has here of energy, get a couple more points, easy buckets, putbacks. Wow, 5-second violation. Can't have that happen. So you got 8 minutes left with the Heat up by 8. The Bucks are fighting, man. The Bucks are definitely not backing down. And Giannis hasn't scored a bucket yet, but it's going to be hard to deny him. Bam has done a really good job, and the Heat have done a good job of stopping him from scoring since he's checked in. Like, he's going to have to jack up a shot here. 8-7. Yeah, he's going to drive it in here, though. And 1. As I mentioned, it's going to be hard to stop him. So once they got the switch off on Davion, that's too easy, and he was able to spin off and get that quick move to the basket to get the and 1. So it's a 6-point game. Could make it 5-point game here. Got someone calling the Heat out, saying that the Heat will lose to the Bucks here. I mean, it's all possible on any given night, but I don't think that it's going to be that easy. I think the Bucks are doing their job and trying to keep this game close. I think Miami's going to do what they can to maintain the lead and hold on, though. So Giannis moves up to 27 for the night. Milwaukee has 89 now. So it's a 5-point game. Bam draws a foul. I think it's a side out, though. The Bucks only have 2 team fouls so far, so Miami needs to see if they can get them in foul trouble a little bit sooner so they can get in the bonus earlier. Let's see what Larson does. He's been the guy kind of. Wow, what a move into the lane to get that, almost like a mini Euro step to get it off the glass. So he's up to 23 points. Incredible night for Larson. Giannis missed it, but Kuzma was able to get the rebound and put it back in. So stays the same at that 5. Jaime missed it at the rim, man. They got him on the cut, and he couldn't finish it. Kuzma nails a 3. Wow. It's a 2-point game. It's a 2-point game with 7 minutes left. Yeah, Kuzma, who's been asleep the whole game, just wakes up and nails a 3. Is that his only points of the game? Yeah, it's going to update now, but he literally hadn't made a bucket the whole game. Again, this is why you watch the NBA. You never really know who's going to step up and who's going to, like, check this out. Look at this. Washington, who Miami scored 150 on and blew them out, just tied it, and they're going into overtime against Orlando. Like, Orlando's better than this. They should not be allowing the Wizards, the depleted Wizards. Well, they got Trae Young back, but still, it's kind of nuts that this could happen. You know what I mean? The Hawks look like they're handling business here. They're up by 9, but still, in today's league, 9 points isn't much. You need like a 25-point, 30-point lead to really feel like you're in control of a game. And yeah, the Pistons handled their business. They won by a healthy margin here on a depleted Sixers team. And even the Grizzlies, they were up. The Mavericks were up by 20, and this is a way closer game. So the swings that happen in this league are kind of insane. Again, anyone who's tuning in, as in the chat right now, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you want or you're looking forward to in this final stretch of the game. We don't do these often, but we've been trying to pick it up and cover this team a little bit more, especially with the fact that they're making a late season push and they're finding themselves in the playoffs now. So it's looking like this might be a year where the Heat aren't just a play-in team. Hopefully they can continue to play at a good rate, but yeah. My buddy needs the Bucks to win for a bet. Well, good luck to him. I'm hoping that he take this one, but again, it's a 2-point game. It's going to be a close one. You need Bam for 2 dunks. I didn't even know you could bet on the dunks. Oh, interesting. Well, I don't know if you're going to get dunks, but Bam is probably going to take a few more shots. Fontecchio pulls up for 3, misses it. Bam gets a foul here. tuning in from Dallas Fort Worth. Is there a reason why Kevin Porter Jr. Isn't playing in the fourth? I guess the only excuse you could say is that he hasn't been playing great, and maybe Doc Rivers doesn't trust him. But yeah, he only has 4 points this game on 21 minutes played, so he kind of hasn't earned that right to check in. But who knows? Maybe they check him in soon because they need him. But that would be my my assumption here. I mean, playing good defense, making it tough for them. They drew that offensive foul on Rollins. Rollins has 5, right? Yeah. So yeah, maybe Kevin Porter Jr. now checks in. If not, Cam Thomas will. Yeah, he's out there now. Your wish came true. Bam taking it to the lane with a little. Oof, man, he's off today. He usually makes those. So it's still a 2-point game. Milwaukee has the ball with a chance to tie it here. Cam Thomas has the ball. Cam Porter Jr. now driving it in, kicks it out to Kuzma. Kaz with a nice rebound. Davion brings it down, kicks it out. All right, Bam has the ball now. Oof. 10 seconds. See what Davion could do with it. Tough shot. Good putback by Hawkes. So it's a 4-point game now. Miami gets a little bit of a cushion, but you cannot breathe easy. Surprisingly, Giannis is off the court. I think that they're kind of load managing him, but he's going to come in pretty soon. Kevin Porter Jr. missed it there. Miami is able to get the rebound and push it back on the other end. Not often enough. Can't really commit to every game. Bam draws a foul here, and he's going to get to the line for a couple free throws. So a chance at getting 13 or 14 points here. No, we don't stream often. We've done it a little bit more consistently recently, but yeah, we can't commit to every game. It's a lot of games. We try and pick and choose some of these. More recently, I've had a stretch where we can cover the game and look live and also just do the whole cover the game as it happens and do a little bit of post game commentary because we're getting to that stretch of the season where playoff positioning and seeding matters. And I've been watching throughout the season. I also enjoy watching the game on my own and being able to digest it that way. But I love sharing it with others and kind of getting feedback from you guys to see what you're interested in, what you like and don't like about the the game and what's going on. Appreciate it. I'm never going to be the kind of guy who's going to be on here giving you hot takes and screaming into the mic. So I'm sure you're watching it on your end and you don't want someone else screaming into the into the mic. You're trying to just enjoy the game a little bit. Yakachonis driving it in, kicks it out. He lobs it a Bam who misses but gets a rebound. He draws a foul though. So Bam is at 14, and I think he's going to get to the line here. He's going back to the stripe for 2 more free throws, so he could hit that 16. I don't know if you need to get over the 16 mark, but he might tie it here, and then you're going to have another 4.5 minutes of him on the court, so you have a good chance of passing 16. Well, he misses the first one, so could get a 15 here. Just needs one more bucket. So Miami has a 6-point lead. And Bam nails the second free throw, so that puts him at 15. Yeah, so again, right now you got He needs 32 more free throws. Yeah. Hey, he's been getting to the line. That's definitely something that is consistent from last game. He's able to draw fouls, and they're not bullshit fouls. This guy's actually drawing contact. It's not some soft stuff. Again, looking at the game right now, I mentioned earlier, Pal Larson isn't usually one to light up the stats on the box score, but he has 23 points. He has 6 assists and 4 rebounds, shooting almost 80% true shooting percentage, 6 of 10 from 2-point, and perfect from 3-point, and perfect from the free throw line. This is a really efficient game from Larson. You can't ask for more from a second round pick. And Kaz too, 5 threes, shooting just under 50%. And he has 7 rebounds. Like, dude's 6'5", grabbing you 7 rebounds. That's just one less than Bam. And I think Ware's at 13. He just is a monster on the boards. So definitely the top most efficient shooters tonight are, you got here, Larson, Giannis, Mitchell, and Drew Smith, making some tough buckets at the rim. But yeah, Bam having a nice drop off from the 82-point performance. Hawk is not having a great game, and Ware doesn't have that great of a stat line on the offensive end, but definitely doing what he needs to do on the boards. So that's where we stand, guys. We have 3 guys with steals, 2 with blocks, 2 unsuspecting guys with blocks, and Larson and Giannis. Ware does have 1 block. I forgot he did get that one. Luckily, the only one in foul trouble is Davion, but he should be fine. And the rest are not in foul trouble. The Heat are looking pretty decent, but the Bucks are within striking distance. You can't get comfortable. Giannis has 27 for the night, and he's taken 20 shots, 10 more than Bobby Portis and anyone else. So, yeah, that's where we are, guys. This is Larson's best offensive performance of the season. So it's a career high. Sorry, it's the best he's done ever. It's amazing. Yeah, Bam usually gets a couple dunks. I think that they've just been on top of him more. Giannis with a crazy little drive he makes it look easy, and that's such a tough shot. He's at 29 points now. Ten seconds. Let's see what Davion does with the ball here. He might pull up for a 3. Drives it in, little floater, misses it. Bucks come down with the ball. Giannis drives, doesn't finish, but does get the foul, so he's going to go to the line. He's going to pass the 30-point mark. Smart foul. You just can't let him get easy buckets. So, it's on Hawkes, but either way, it's a good foul. You don't want this guy getting easy buckets. That's a soft foul, honestly. I didn't see too much contact. Yeah, it didn't look like a lot of contact. And Giannis isn't a great free throw shooter, so it's not bad to foul him. Probably will make a couple of these. He missed the first one, so it was worth it. Yeah, that was definitely not a foul. I don't see where the foul was, but it is what it is. Let's see. Second shot for the free throw for Giannis, and that puts him at. He missed both, and Miami got the rebound. Totally worth the the non-contact foul that was called. The ball didn't lie. Spo calls a timeout with the Heat up by 5. and 3:30 left on the clock. I would not be surprised if Spo draws up an inbound play here. Not sure exactly what's going to be called, but usually this is one of those moments where something gets drawn up so that it could be an easy open shot. So, Spo's one of the best in the league at least executing or getting the team to execute on it. Hopefully, they can do that and extend their lead to 7 or 8. But again, appreciate all you guys tuning in. Probably the most we've had on this stream. If you like this style of live stream, be sure to follow us on 786 Sports. This is where we particularly live stream these games. And if you want more creative content, hoop content, check us out on Instagram. Check us out on X. Those are the 2 channels that we are the most active on right now. We do have a TikTok presence, but we're not as active there. But again, appreciate you all, and let's see what happens here in the final stretch with 3:30 left in the game. Miami has a 5-point lead. And guys, for those of you tuning in too, like if you're not appreciating Heat basketball over the last 30 days, they are number 2 in net rating, only behind the San Antonio Spurs, and they're number 3 in the last 2 weeks. So this is it doesn't get better than this in terms of a team that nobody talks about playing and performing at that level. Who's in right now? You have on the court for Miami. It looks like you have Bam, Yakachonis. I believe Hawkes is out there. And Larson and Davion. And then on the Bucks end, you have Jericho Sims, you have Giannis, Bobby Portis, Kevin Porter Jr., and I can't see who the 5th guy is. Rollins. Rollins in there with 5 fouls. So they're taking a risk. Bam was able to nail a couple free throws. That puts it, well, yeah, I think it's going to update now. So Bam has 17. He passed that 16-point mark. Whoever made that bet for Bam to surpass 16, congrats. That was a smart move on your end. He was able to get pretty much from the free throw line. So he's being aggressive on that end, even though his shots aren't falling tonight. Need 5 from Bam. So I don't know if those last 2 you counted him, but hopefully he's 2 closer than you need. you got your 16 there. Again, I think what was most shocking about that 83-point game is the fact that he even passed just LeBron James in the Heat franchise record of 61. Like once he passed LeBron, it was amazing to see as a Heat fan, because you wouldn't expect that to happen. And it just kept going. I thought they were going to sit him in the 4th quarter, and he basically didn't rest the entire 4th quarter. They checked him in, and he stayed in. It was crazy. And then everyone was glued to it. It was like amazing to see. All right, so the Bucks coming down with the ball here. Heat up 103-96, and Kevin Porter Jr. trying to inbound the pass to Giannis, but Miami's denying it and playing pretty good defense right now. Davion being a pest, forcing a tough shot. Wow, he makes it off the glass. You can't ask for better defense, but tough shot by Kevin Porter Jr. there. And he's at 6 for the night. That's not much, but, it's still a 5-point game for Miami. Bam pulls up from the elbow. Can't make it. Again, another rough night from the spots that you're used to seeing him score. Giannis comes down. They double team, almost triple team him. Kevin Porter, oof, drops it into Sims, who's able to do a layup to get the and one. So the Bucks have a chance here to make it a 2-point game with 2.5 left. This is you gotta give credit to the Bucks. They're playing way better than you'd expect them to, and staying within striking distance. And this is going in their favor right now. Miami needs to continue doing what they can to keep a cushion, because you don't want them to be anywhere within 3-4 points with under a minute left. So it's a 2-point game now. 103-101. And Larson's bringing the ball down. He's driving it in. He's able to finish. Like, what a game from him. Career high. He has 25 points now. 8 of 12 from the field, and he's like unafraid to take a shot when it counts. Like, crunch time. Kevin Porter loses the ball. Bam comes up with it. Passes it to Hawkes, right back to Bam. But Bam gets called for the foul, so he's going to go to the line for 2 more free throws. Bam shuts off Kevin Porter Jr., and then Kaz Yakichonis comes in and swipes it. So Miami's able to capitalize on the other end by drawing a foul and getting to the free throw line. Bam hits the first free throw to push it to 106. Yeah. I don't know if Bam's gonna get a dunk. They're not making anything easy for him. They're either letting him take those mid-range jumpers or fouling him. They're not letting him dunk, man. Sorry. We not OT. Yeah, we're not in OT yet. Hopefully don't get to OT. So heat up 107-101. Just under 2 minutes left. That's a bad foul there on Yakichonis, because I think they're in the bonus now and they get free throws out of it. That was, oh man, that looked like he pulled him down, or he kind of, Rollins got away with one there, but hey, let the refs do what they do. Makes the first free throw. So a 5-point game. He makes both of them. 4-point game here with 143. Let's see if Miami can tighten it. If they can convert here and get a couple stops. Pell Larson for 3, misses it. Bam tries to tip it back in, gets fouled, so he's going to the free throw line. He's getting those free throw attempts. He's about to surpass 20, so whoever had him for 20, he got 2 chances here. Yeah, you might get it here. Let's see if if he can hit these free throws. He missed the first one. Sorry. Oh man. Do you need 20 on the dot, or do you need more than 20? Because he just needs, maybe he makes the next one. Let's see, second free throw. He made it. Bam's at 20. There you go. 20 points, 7 rebounds. Giannis drives it in, man. How do you stop that? We're good then. Giannis at 29. Does that make him at 30? He's at 31 now. Yeah. Bam. See, they're going to double him. Larson kicks it out of Yakichonis. Hawkes with what a bad miss there. Hits the side of the backboard. All right. Oh, no. Giannis pulled up for three, missed it. 48 seconds left. Miami has control of the ball. Let's see what they do. There's only a 3-point game. You want to convert here if you're Miami. You don't want them to get the ball. I mean, the most they could do is tie, but let's see what happens here. Larson for three. Nails it. What a game. What a game from Larson. Oh, my God. 28 points. That might be it. The best game of his life. You finally get someone to step up with Tyler Hero, with Norman Powell, with Andrew Wiggins out, with Jovic, who hasn't played a ton of games either. Like, with all these guys out and Bam playing not great, he's only shooting 40% true shooting percentage. You have a second-round pick in Pelle Larson, only in his second year. I don't know. We got to find a nickname for this dude. The Swedish torpedo, the Swedish hammer, something. This dude is sneaky. He's sneaky good, and he just plays the game the right way. He has 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists with a steal. Only 1 turnover and 1 foul. I mean, what else do you want from a player of that caliber? Like, maximizing this dude who's you just picked him up off the second round, and not to mention you also got his teammate from Arizona in Kashad Johnson, who won the dunk competition. So nice little toss in there. But yeah, Pelle Larson, what a fucking game. Shout out. Earth is a rock. What is up, man? Let's go, Bam. Yeah, he got to 20. He got to 20, and I expect him to do his best job to stop Giannis here. You know the ball's going to go to him. Wow, they went to Portis. He missed it. Bam got the rebound. He got fouled. So there you go. Bam's going to go to the line. It looks like Miami's going to hold on here. If you need one more point from Bam, you got 2 shots from him coming up. Thanks for shout out. Hey, I'm just covering the game. You decided to take that bet and it worked out in your favor. Good for you, man. All right, Bam gets to 21 points. That's what a good player does, though. Even when they're having an off night, he finds a way to break the 20-point mark, still gets you 8 rebounds, plays really solid defense. And this is what you expect on a realistic level from Bam. You don't expect him to be just making a shit ton of points. All right, it looks like Miami's holding on here. Larson gets the rebound. They're going to hold on. Just going to run out the clock. And Miami extends their win streak to 7 games. And, yeah, it's the longest winning streak in the season. They head to Orlando in a couple nights. Orlando's had their number recently, and they're right there in the playoff mix. If we're actually going to look at the playoff picture or like the standings, we could pull that up. And, yeah, right now you got the Magic and the Heat right here in 5 and 6. And the Raptors pretty much right there behind them. And so that game's going to be big. It's going to, whoever, if the Magic win, they extend it. If the Heat, they swap out and they get that 5th spot. And then not far after, we're going to end up playing the Cavaliers. And that's for 2 games in a row. So, if the Cavs kind of slip up and they're within that range, those 2 games could be really important for Miami. So that's kind of where it's at right now. You're looking at the playoff picture. Again, in all likelihood, things keep going the way that they're going, and Miami is likely to play either the Knicks or the Cavaliers in the first round. Should be a good matchup either way. Um, it's still, I don't know if Miami can beat either team in a 7-game series. If they keep staying hot and they find their groove entering the playoffs and they stay healthy, or they get healthy entering there, maybe they have a shot. This is not a season that you're looking at Miami to contend and make it a deep run, but you do want them to get into the playoffs. You want them to get experience, especially for the young guys, and hopefully have a competitive series so that they could learn something from it. So that's where we're at right now in the playoff picture. Again, looking back at tonight's performance, shout out to Pell Larson, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a couple 3-pointers, and also a special shout out to Kaziakachonis, who had 5 threes, came out hot, and had 7 rebounds. It's like basically right there with Bam. A really solid distribution and production from guys down the bench, even though there weren't too many outside of these top 4 for points in double digits. Drew Smith still had 9, a lot of tough baskets near the rim. Fontecchio did his job by hitting a couple threes. Hawkes, you expected a little bit more out of him, but at least he got 7 rebounds. Not the greatest game from him or Ware, but Ware did get 13 rebounds and, made sure to cover that side of the game. But yeah, the Heat extend to 7 wins. They're in a good spot right now to secure a playoff berth. And if you're a Heat fan, you should be excited. Should be looking forward to a lot of the games coming down the stretch now. But yeah, if you guys have any more comments, anything else you want to cover before we go off the live stream, appreciate you all tuning in and watching alongside. It's definitely been a fun stretch for the Heat. It's really been a fun season. They've definitely done a good job of improving their offense, scoring a ton more points, improving their rebounding, and just doing things that they're not known for as of recent years outside of playing good defense. So I think we could also take a look here at, let's see here. They have going back to this, if you look at the full season, Miami ranks 9th overall in net rating. If you look at offensive rating, they're actually towards the middle because they're not as efficient. But defensive rating, they're a top 4 team for the entire season. But it gets really interesting when you look at the last 30 days and the last 2 weeks. The last 30 days, let's see here, net rating, Miami is number 2, like behind the Spurs. And again, they're number 3 here in net rating. Offensively, let's see, offensive rating, 3rd. Defensive rating, a little bit lower, 8. It's you can't ask for more on a team that doesn't have a bona fide superstar, right? According to everyone, even though Bam put up 83 last game, like they have a lot of solid players. They have good role players. They have depth down the bench. I would argue that the Heat are a team that a lot of teams don't want to play in the first round. Doesn't mean that they're going to be a threat, to win the Eastern Conference Finals or anything like that. But if you're the Cavs, you don't want to face them again. You're not going to get the same team. And if you're the Knicks, it's going to be a tough battle. Miami always cranks it up when it's time to play New York. So that's where it's at. I think we can wrap it up there, guys. Appreciate you all for tuning in, staying alongside me for the full game. And stay tuned. We'll see when we do one of these again. Appreciate you all. And without further ado, have a great night. Peace.